I realized when Mom said, "We simply can't afford the flight." I wept, but I let it slide. Until my aunt mistakenly tagged my mom in a post, poolside deck, cocktail in hand, grinning ear to ear. Greatest family getaway ever. They lied. I leaned toward my husband and murmured, "Call the attorney." Now. 5 minutes later, my phone wouldn't stop buzzing. Can you imagine planning your dream wedding, saving seats for your family in the very front row, only for them to tell you they can't afford the 3-hour drive? Now imagine, on your wedding night, seeing a photo of them, champagne in hand, on a Caribbean cruise ship, asterisk at the exact moment you said, "I do." Asterisk that photo didn't just expose their betrayal, it was just the beginning of what they'd stolen from me. The countdown began exactly 1 week before my wedding day. 7 days until I'd marry Jordan, the man who'd spent the last 4 years proving that love wasn't supposed to hurt. 7 days until I'd walk down an aisle in a cream-colored dress I'd found on clearance, but which made me feel like royalty anyway. 7 days until my family would gather to celebrate something that was finally, completely mine. Or so I thought. I sat cross-legged on our apartment floor that Tuesday morning, addressing the last batch of thank you cards for early wedding gifts. Jordan had already left for his bachelor camping trip with his brothers, a 3-day affair that involved more fishing than drinking, which was exactly his speed. The apartment felt too quiet without him, so I'd put on one of those wedding planning podcasts, the kind where overly cheerful hosts discuss centerpiece disasters like they were reporting from a war zone. My phone buzzed. "Mom." I smiled, swiping to answer. She'd been distant lately, but wedding planning does that to families, right? Makes everyone a little crazy, a little overwhelmed. I'd been telling myself that for months. "Hi, Mom. I was just thinking about you. Did you get the itinerary I sent? The ceremony starts at 4, but I'd love if you could come by the bridal suite around noon." Emily, her voice had that particular weight to it. The one she used when she was about to disappoint me. I'd heard it when she missed my college graduation because Rachel had a dance recital. When she couldn't make it to my promotion dinner because Dad's bowling league had playoffs. "We need to talk about Saturday." My hand stilled on the thank you card I was writing. The podcast host was laughing about something, a cake that collapsed, but it sounded tiny and far away. "What about Saturday?" There was a pause. I could hear her breathing. I could picture her in the kitchen of my childhood home, probably wiping down counters that were already clean. That's what she did when she was nervous. "We're not going to be able to make it, sweetheart." The words didn't compute at first. They hung in the air like a math equation I couldn't solve. Asterisk not able to make it to my wedding. My wedding, asterisk, I don't understand. It's just the money, Emily. You know how things have been. The car needed new tires last month, and the property taxes just came due. And with gas prices what they are, driving 3 hours each way. It's just not feasible right now. Feasible? She said it like we were discussing a business transaction, not my wedding day. "Mom, I offered to help with gas money. Jordan's parents have that extra room at their hotel. If you need somewhere to stay, we could, it's not just that." She cut me off, her voice sharper now, defensive. "Your father's back has been acting up. 3 hours in the car would kill him. And Rachel has that thing with her friends that weekend." Asterisk that thing with her friends, asterisk, I heard my voice crack. "Mom, this is my wedding." "I know that, Emily. Don't be dramatic. We'll celebrate when you get back. Maybe a nice dinner. Somewhere special. Somewhere special. Like the Olive Garden where they took me after high school graduation, where Rachel got to order dessert because she'd sat through the whole boring ceremony, even though it was my day. "Is Dad there? Can I talk to him?" He's in the garage. You know how he is. Men and emotions." She laughed, but it was hollow. He loves you, sweetheart. We both do. This is just bad timing. Bad timing. Like I'd scheduled my wedding to personally inconvenience them. What about Rachel? Is she? Oh, honey, I should go. The stove timer's going off. We'll call you after, okay? To hear all about it. Take lots of pictures. She hung up before I could respond. I sat there, holding my phone, staring at the half-written thank you card. Asterisk, thank you so much for the beautiful serving dish, Jordan. And I can't wait to, asterisk, can't wait to what? Use it at family dinners where my family never shows up. I called Dad's cell, straight to voicemail. I texted Rachel, asterisk, Mom says you guys can't make it to the wedding. Please tell me this isn't real, asterisk. Her response came 3 hours later, asterisk, sorry, sis. Money's tight for everyone right now. Hope it's beautiful. 2 hearts, asterisk, a heart emoji. She sent me a heart emoji instead of coming to my wedding. That night, I sat in the bathtub until the water went cold, replaying every conversation from the last 6 months. How Mom had seemed excited at first, asking about flowers and colors. How that enthusiasm had gradually cooled like someone slowly turning down a dimmer switch. How Dad had gone from promising to dance with me to barely mentioning the wedding at all. Jordan called from the camping site, his voice crackling through poor reception. How's my almost wife doing? I wanted to lie, to protect this last bit of his bachelor celebration from my family's dysfunction. But I'd promised him years ago, no more pretending things were fine when they weren't. They're not coming, I said. The silence stretched so long, I thought we'd lost connection. Your parents? Any of them? Mom, Dad, Rachel. They said they can't afford it. Emily, his voice was careful, gentle. They drove to Vegas last month for that concert Rachel wanted to see. I know. They bought that new patio furniture set. I know, baby. This isn't about money. I know that, too. We stayed on the phone until his battery died, him making promises about how our wedding would be perfect anyway. How his family was my family now. How we were building something new and better. I wanted to believe him. I wrapped myself in our comforter, trying to picture my dad's face without seeing my mom cry happy tears, without Rachel standing beside me. The rest of the week passed in a blur of final fittings and rehearsal dinners. Jordan's family enveloped me in their warmth. His mother teaching me their family's traditional wedding bread recipe. His sisters arguing over who would fix my veil if it shifted during the ceremony. But every kindness felt like a spotlight on what was missing. Should we save them seats? The venue coordinator asked during the rehearsal. For your parents? Sometimes people change their minds last minute. I caught Jordan's eye across the room. He gave me the smallest nod. Yes, I said. 3 seats, front row, left side. Hope is a stupid, stubborn thing. The night before the wedding, I couldn't sleep. Jordan was staying at his brother's place, tradition, his mother had insisted, and the apartment felt cavernous without him. I pulled out my laptop and scrolled through old photos. There we all were at Christmas 3 years ago, Mom insisting on matching sweaters. Dad with his arm around me at my college graduation. He'd made it to the party after, at least. Rachel and I at the beach the summer before she started high school, building sandcastles and planning our futures. In every photo, we looked like a family. A real family, the kind that showed up for each other. I found a video from Rachel's high school graduation. Mom had filmed it on her phone, and you could hear her sniffling with pride. That's my baby, she kept whispering. The camera shook when Rachel walked across the stage because Mom was clapping so hard. She'd driven 6 hours to be there. Rachel's graduation had been at a college campus 3 towns over because her school was being renovated. 6 hours. But 3 hours to my wedding was impossible. I called Mom once more, at midnight. Maybe it was the darkness or the lateness of the hour that made me brave. "Emily, is everything okay?" "No," I said. "Nothing's okay. I'm getting married tomorrow, and my family won't be there. We've been over this. Mom, please. Please. I will never ask you for anything else. I'll pay for everything. Gas, hotel, food. I'll never bring it up again. Just please be there." The silence stretched out. I could hear Dad snoring in the background, the tick of their grandfather clock. The one that would go to Rachel someday, just like everything else that mattered. "We can't, Emily. I'm sorry. Try to understand." "I'm trying," I whispered. "I've been trying my whole life." She hung up first. The morning of my wedding dawned bright and clear. One of those perfect October days where the air feels like apple cider and promises. Lily, my maid of honor, showed up at 7 with coffee and bagels, followed by Jordan's sisters with champagne and orange juice. "Today's about joy," Lily said firmly, catching my eyes in the mirror as she pinned my hair. "Nothing else. Just joy." I nodded, blinking back tears before they could fall. The makeup artist would be here soon. We laughed and danced and toasted with mimosas. I slipped into my dress, and Jordan's mother fastened my grandmother's pearls around my neck. The one family heirloom I had, passed down from my father's mother directly to me, because she'd known somehow that I'd need something that was just mine. At 3:45, we lined up outside the chapel doors. Jordan's Uncle Tom offered me his arm. He was a good man, sturdy and kind, with laugh lines that suggested a life well lived. But he wasn't my dad. "You're radiant," Tom said. "Jordan's a lucky man." "Thank you," I managed. The music swelled. The doors opened. 200 faces turned to look at me, and my eyes went immediately to the front left row. 3 empty chairs, ribbons tied to their backs, place cards with names that felt like wounds. Mom. Dad. Rachel. But then I saw Jordan, and the world narrowed to just him. He was crying already, not even trying to hide it, his hand over his heart like he was physically trying to hold it in his chest. His brother whispered something, probably teasing him. But Jordan never looked away from me. Each step down that aisle was a choice. A choice to move forward instead of looking back. A choice to run towards something instead of away from everything. Tom squeezed my arm as we reached the altar, kissing my cheek before placing my hand in Jordan's. "You came," Jordan whispered. "Just for me. Where else would I be?" The ceremony was everything we planned and nothing like I'd imagined. Jordan's vows made everyone cry. Mine made everyone laugh, then cry again. When the officiant said, "You may kiss the bride," Jordan dipped me like we were in an old movie, and everyone cheered so loud it echoed off the chapel rafters. We were married. Despite everything, we were married. The reception was in full swing. Toasts and dancing, and Jordan's dad teaching everyone some Estonian folk dance from his childhood. When Lily pulled me aside during the cake cutting, she said, her voice strange. "Don't look now, but, what?" She handed me Jordan's phone. "Your mom's been tagged in something. I thought you should see it before anyone else mentions it." My hands were still sticky with wedding cake frosting when I saw it. The photo was posted 2 hours ago, while I was saying, "I do." And there they were. All of them. Mom, Dad, Rachel, my aunts and uncles, my cousins, everyone who'd said they couldn't afford to come to my wedding. They were on the deck of a cruise ship, tropical drinks in hand, wearing matching Franklin Family Reunion 2024 t-shirts. The caption, posted by my Aunt Janet, * best family vacation ever. So blessed to have everyone together. # ship sun water wave star. Everyone. Everyone except me. The phone slipped from my hand. Lily caught it, her face pale. Emily, I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have shown you. No. My voice sounded strange, detached. No, I needed to see. Jordan appeared at my elbow, his face flushed from dancing with his grandmother. Hey, beautiful. They're about to. He stopped, seeing our faces. What's wrong? Lily wordlessly handed him the phone. I watched his expression change. Watched the joy drain from his face like water from a broken cup. Are you fucking kidding me, Jordan? No. No, Emily. This is. He scrolled through the photos, his jaw tightening with each swipe. This one's from yesterday. They're at the port. Your dad's wearing a Hawaiian shirt that still has the price tag on it. Yesterday. They were at a port yesterday, probably in Florida, at least an 8-hour drive from home. They'd had to book this weeks ago. Months ago, when I was sending them save the dates. When I was begging them to be here. I need a minute, I said. I locked myself in the bridal suite, still hearing the music and laughter from the reception below. My wedding was happening without me, just like that cruise was happening without me. The perfect metaphor for my entire life. I sat on the floor, not caring about my dress, and went through every tagged photo with the dedication of a detective at a crime scene. There was Rachel posing in a white sundress on what they called formal night. The dress looked new, expensive. How much had that cost? More than gas money, certainly. There was Dad playing shuffleboard with my Uncle Pete, the same uncle who'd sent a card saying he was too under the weather to travel. There was Mom at what looked like a champagne breakfast, raising a glass with my Aunt Susan. The timestamp showed it was posted at exactly 4 p.m., the exact moment I was walking down the aisle. But the worst photo was buried in the comments. My cousin Trevor had posted it, probably drunk, the whole family in the ship's ballroom, dressed in white, raising their glasses while my dad gave some kind of speech. The caption, Uncle Rob's toast to family. The ones who matter most always find a way to be together. Glad we skipped the drama for this. Skipped the drama. My wedding was the drama. I zoomed in on the photo, looking at their faces. They were all laughing, happy. Not a single person looking guilty or sad or like they wished they were somewhere else. Like they wished they were with me. A knock at the door. Jordan's voice. Can I come in? I unlocked it, and he slipped inside, bringing me a glass of water and a piece of our wedding cake. Thought you should eat something. I can't. He sat beside me on the floor, pulling me against him. I want to drive to that port and throw every single one of them overboard. It's international waters. You'd probably get away with it. Don't tempt me. He kissed my temple. What do you need? I need to understand why I wasn't enough. Why I'm never enough. Hey, he turned my face to his. You're more than enough. You're everything. They're the ones who aren't enough. They're the ones who are broken. Then why does it hurt like I'm the broken one? He didn't have an answer for that. Lily knocked, entering with my phone. Your mom's calling. She must have seen that people saw the posts. I stared at the screen, watching her name flash. Then I declined the call. No, she doesn't get to explain this away. Not this time. My phone immediately started buzzing with texts. Mom, it's not what it looks like. Mom, we booked this before we knew your wedding date. Mom, Rachel really needed this after her breakup. Mom, you know we love you. Mom, why aren't you answering? Mom, this is exactly why we didn't tell you. We knew you'd be dramatic. I turned off my phone. Come on, Lily said, pulling me to my feet. You have a room full of people who actually showed up for you. Let's go celebrate that. We went back to the reception. I danced with Jordan's father, who whispered, "You're the daughter I always wanted," in my ear. I laughed at the best man's speech. I threw my bouquet. Jordan's cousin caught it. I smiled for photos, but inside I was cataloging every lie, every excuse, every time they'd chosen someone or something else over me. The birthday party they'd missed because Rachel had a sleepover to go to. The scholarship ceremony they'd skipped because it was raining. The holiday dinners where I'd cook for hours only to eat alone because something came up. Always something. During our first dance, Jordan held me close and whispered, "We're going to build something better. A family that shows up. What if I don't know how? What if I'm broken like them?" "You're not." "Know how I know?" "Because you're here, hurting like hell, and you're still being kind to everyone. You haven't made a scene. You haven't ruined anything for anyone else. You're not them, Emily. You'll never be them." Later, after we cut the cake and done all the traditional things, I found myself outside on the venue's balcony with Jordan's mom, Patricia. "Jordan told me," she said simply, "about your family." I nodded, not trusting my voice. "My mother missed my wedding, too," she said. Said she had the flu. Found out later she went to Atlantic City with her boyfriend instead. "How did you forgive her?" Patricia was quiet for a long moment. "I didn't. I just decided to live well despite her. Had beautiful children, built a loving home, created the family I'd wished for. The best revenge isn't actually revenge, Emily. It's joy. Joy they can't touch or ruin or take credit for." They posted photos during my ceremony. During the exact moment, "I know, sweetheart. And someday, when they're old and wondering why their daughter doesn't visit, why their grandchildren don't know them, they'll remember those photos. They'll remember choosing a cruise over your wedding, and they'll have to live with that. What if they don't care? Then you'll have wasted less time figuring that out." We went back inside for the last dance. The DJ played "At Last" by Etta James, and Jordan held me like I was made of spun gold. The 3 empty chairs sat there still, ribbons, perfect place cards, unmarked physical proof that I'd saved space for people who couldn't be bothered to show up. As we swayed, I saw Jordan's sister taking photos, carefully framing out those empty chairs, protecting me, even in the documentation. That's what family does, I realized. They protect you from hurt, not cause it. The reception ended with sparklers and cheers. Everyone lined up to wish us well as we ran to the waiting car. In the back seat, finally alone, I turned my phone back on. 47 missed calls. 112 texts. The cruise photos had made their way through my extended network. People were figuring it out, putting pieces together. But there was one message that stopped me cold. From someone I didn't recognize, a friend of Mom's named Deborah. Emily, I'm so sorry about what they did. You should know. Your father withdrew $8,000 from the joint account last month for that cruise. The account your grandfather set up. That wasn't his money to take. I read Deborah's message 3 times before the words actually penetrated. The joint account. Grandpa's account. $8,000. Jordan. My voice came out strangled. He was rubbing my back, trying to help me calm down from the emotional tsunami of the last few hours. What is it? I handed him my phone, watched his eyes scan the message, watched his expression shift from confusion to understanding to rage. That account, that's the one with your name on it. From when you were 18. I nodded. When I turned 18, my grandfather had taken me to the bank, added me to an account he'd set up. For your education, he'd said. Or emergencies. This is yours, Emily. Just yours. But Dad was the primary account holder. Something about taxes and being a minor when it was first established. I'd never touched it. Had honestly forgotten it existed after Grandpa died 2 years ago. I'd assumed it was empty or closed. We need to call someone, Jordan said. This is theft. It's Saturday night, our wedding night. I don't care if it's Christmas morning. He was already pulling out his phone. My friend Megan from law school, she handles this kind of thing. Jordan, we can't call a lawyer on our wedding night. Watch me. 20 minutes later, we were in our hotel suite. Not exactly the wedding night I'd imagined, with Jordan on speaker with Megan while I pulled up bank websites on his laptop. First things first, Megan said, her voice all business despite the hour. Emily, can you access the account online? I don't know. I never have before. Try using your social and see if you can reset the password. My hands shook as I typed. The account existed. My name was on it, secondary holder, but still there. I reset the password, logged in, and immediately wished I hadn't. The transaction history was like reading a map of my family's betrayal. Starting balance, 3 years ago, $47,000. Grandpa had been saving for me my entire life. Current balance, $2,341. Oh my God, I breathed. Withdrawals scrolled down the page like a grocery list of deception. $8,000 last month for vacation expenses. $5,000 6 months ago, the same week Rachel got her car. $3,500 last year when Mom redecorated the living room. Transaction after transaction, all authorized by Dad, draining away what Grandpa had left for me. Emily. Megan's voice cut through my spiral. This is fraud. Your name is on the account. You never authorized these withdrawals. We can file charges against your father. Against someone who stole from you. The relationship doesn't change the crime. Jordan was pacing now, his suit jacket discarded, bow tie hanging loose. There's more. Megan, if this was meant for Emily, if her grandfather specifically set it aside for her, wouldn't there be documentation? Possibly. Emily, do you have any of your grandfather's papers? A will? Anything? I thought of the box under our bed. The one Grandma had given me after Grandpa's funeral. For when you need him, she'd said. I'd never opened it. We do, but not here. It's at home. First thing Monday morning, I need you to file a police report. Then we freeze the account, document everything, and send a formal notice of dispute to your father. Emily, I know this is your family. But they're not, I said quietly. Family doesn't do this. After we hung up, Jordan and I sat in silence on the hotel bed, still in our wedding clothes, staring at the laptop screen. The most recent transaction was yesterday morning. $67 for a ship Wi-Fi package. They'd used my inheritance to pay for internet so they could post photos during my wedding. I want to do it, I said. File the report. Send the notice. All of it. Are you sure? There's no going back from this. There's no going back anyway. I gestured at my phone, which hadn't stopped buzzing. Look at this. The cruise photos had gone viral in our small town. People were commenting, sharing, expressing shock. My high school English teacher wrote, I can't believe they missed your wedding for this. Jordan's aunt posted, some people don't deserve the families they have. But the family was fighting back. Rachel posted, people don't know the whole story. Emily has always been dramatic. We needed this vacation for our mental health. Mental health. My sister was using therapy speak to justify abandoning me. Mom tried damage control. We planned this cruise a year ago. Emily scheduled her wedding knowing we had plans. That was a lie so bold it took my breath away. I'd sent save the dates 8 months ago. She'd helped me pick the date. I'm done, I said to Jordan. I'm done pretending they love me. Done making excuses. Done being the understanding one. Good, he said fiercely. It's about time. I picked up my phone and typed out a Facebook post. Jordan read over my shoulder. Asterisk, thank you to everyone who celebrated with us today. To those who couldn't make it, we missed you. To those who chose not to come. Your absence was a gift. It showed me who my real family is. P.S. If you're wondering about the empty chairs and the photos, check the cruise tags from today. Sometimes people show you exactly who they are. Believe them. Asterisk, you sure? Jordan asked. I hit post. Then I called Megan back. How soon can you send that notice? I can draft it tonight. Send it first thing in the morning. Do it. The phone rang immediately. Mom. I declined. Dad. Declined. Rachel. Declined. Unknown number. Probably one of them on someone else's phone. Declined. Jordan gently took my phone. Powered it off. Tomorrow. We'll deal with it all tomorrow. But tomorrow came faster than expected. At 3 a.m., someone knocked on our hotel room door. Hotel security stood there with a man I didn't recognize. Mrs. Peters, this was left for you at the front desk. The gentleman said it was urgent. An envelope. My name. And Dad's handwriting. I waited until security left to open it. Inside, a single sheet of paper. Dad's careful script. Asterisk Emily, stop this now before you ruin everything. You don't understand what you're doing. That money is complicated. Your grandfather's estate is complicated. If you pursue this, you'll destroy more than just our relationship. You'll destroy his legacy. We need to talk in person. No lawyers, Dad, asterisk I laughed. Actually laughed. Now he wants to talk. Now it's urgent. Jordan read the letter. His jaw tight. His legacy. He stole your legacy. My phone, even powered off, seemed to pulse with unspent energy. I knew when I turned it on there would be an avalanche, messages, calls, accusations, guilt trips, manipulation. Let them panic, Jordan said, pulling me back to bed. Let them wonder what you're going to do. Let them feel what it's like to be left out. To not know what's happening, to be powerless. But I couldn't sleep. I kept thinking about that account, about Grandpa carefully depositing money over 23 years. Birthday money, Christmas money, probably his Social Security checks toward the end. All for me. All stolen. At 7 a.m., I turned on my phone. 183 missed calls. 294 texts. 47 Facebook notifications. But one message stood out from a number I didn't recognize. Asterisk Emily, this is Robert Harrison, your grandfather's attorney. I've been alerted to some concerning activity regarding your grandfather's estate. Please call me immediately. There are things about your inheritance you need to know, asterisk I looked at Jordan. It's Sunday morning. Call him. Robert Harrison answered on the first ring. His voice was old but sharp, like aged whiskey. Emily, thank God. I've been trying to reach you for 2 years. 2 years. Since Grandpa died. Your parents told me you weren't interested in dealing with the estate, that you were too busy with school, then work, then wedding planning. Another lie. Of course, Mr. Harrison. I've never heard from you, ever. A long pause. I see. Well, that changes things considerably. Can you meet me tomorrow? There's quite a bit we need to discuss. Bring your husband. You'll want a witness for this. Is it about the account? The one my dad's been draining? Oh, my dear girl, that account is the least of it. Your grandfather left you everything. The house. The investments. The properties. Your parents have been living in your house, Emily. And if what I'm seeing in these bank records is correct, they've been stealing from you for 2 years. The phone slipped from my numb fingers. Jordan caught it, took over the conversation, arranged the meeting. I sat on the hotel bed in my wedding nightgown, trying to process what I just heard. My house. They've been living in my house. The house where they told me there wasn't room for me to stay when I visited. The house where they'd said I couldn't have my wedding reception because it would be too much trouble. The house they'd been renovating with my money. Emily, Jordan knelt in front of me, taking my hands. We're going to fix this. All of it. They knew, I whispered. This whole time. They knew. Every time they said they couldn't afford something, couldn't help me, couldn't be there. They were spending my money, living in my house. My phone buzzed. A text from Rachel. You're destroying this family, I texted back. No. I'm just done being the one who gets destroyed, then I did something I should have done years ago. I blocked them all. Mom, Dad, Rachel, every aunt and uncle who'd chosen a cruise over my wedding. Every cousin who'd laughed about skipping the drama. What now? Jordan asked. Now? I stood up, suddenly feeling stronger than I had in years. Now we go home. We get Grandpa's box. We meet with the lawyer. And we take back everything they stole. Not just the money. My dignity, my self-worth, my belief that I mattered. All of it. And then we build that better family you talked about. The kind that shows up. He kissed me. And for a moment in that hotel room, with the morning sun streaming through the curtains, I felt something I hadn't felt in years. Not happy, exactly. Not yet. But free. Free from the weight of trying to earn love that was never going to be given. Free from the lie that I was the problem. Outside, my phone lit up with notifications. The post had been shared over 1,000 times. Messages poured in from people I'd forgotten, childhood friends, distant relatives, teachers, neighbors, all variations of the same theme. We had no idea. We're so sorry. You deserved better, yes, I thought. I did deserve better. And finally, I was going to get it. The last text I saw before Jordan took my phone away again was from my mother's friend, Deborah, the one who'd first told me about the theft. Your grandfather would be proud. He always said you were the only one with backbone in that family. Fight them, Emily. Fight them with everything you have, I intended to do exactly that. Monday morning arrived with the kind of crisp clarity that makes you believe in fresh starts. Jordan and I sat in Robert Harrison's office. A wood-paneled room that smelled like leather and old books. The kind of place where important things happened. The box from under our bed sat between us. Still unopened. Mr. Harrison looked exactly like I'd imagined, silver-haired, sharp-eyed, wearing a 3-piece suit that had probably been his uniform for 40 years. But his expression when he looked at me was soft, almost paternal. Your grandfather talked about you constantly, he said, settling behind his desk. Emily this, Emily that, you were his pride and joy. Then why? My voice cracked. Why did he leave everything in a way that they could steal it? He didn't. Mr. Harrison pulled out a thick folder. Your grandfather was many things, but naive wasn't one of them. He knew exactly what your parents were capable of. He spread documents across the desk like dealing cards, trust papers, bank statements, property deeds. Your grandfather created an ironclad trust. You were to receive everything, the house, the investment accounts, the rental properties, on your 25th birthday or on your wedding day, whichever came first. But I'm 26. I've been 26 for 8 months. Yes. And your father was legally required to transfer everything to you last February. He didn't. Jordan leaned forward. That's fraud. That's multiple felonies, Mr. Harrison corrected. Your father has been collecting rent from 3 properties, about $4,500 a month. That should have been going to you. He's been living in a house that legally belongs to you. And he's been systematically draining accounts that were supposed to be protected. How much? I asked. Total. How much should I have? Mr. Harrison consulted his papers. Based on the last accounting your grandfather did, plus appreciation and interest, approximately $380,000 in assets, plus another $60,000 in the accounts. The room spun. I grabbed Jordan's hand. They told me Grandpa left everything to them. I whispered. That he'd left me some savings bonds that wouldn't mature for years. Open the box, Mr. Harrison said gently. With shaking hands, I lifted the lid. Inside, wrapped in tissue paper, were letters. Dozens of them, all addressed to me in Grandpa's spidery handwriting, all dated after his diagnosis. I opened the one on top. Asterisk, my dearest Emily, if you're reading this, I'm gone. And you're probably wondering why I didn't protect you better. The truth is, I tried. I've left you everything because you're the only one who deserves it. Your parents will lie to you. They've been lying to you your whole life. Your father isn't a bad man, but he's weak. And your mother makes him worse. They see you as competition for Rachel, not as a daughter to love. I've watched them dim your light for 23 years. No more. Take what's yours. Don't feel guilty. Build the life you deserve. The lawyer has instructions. Trust Robert. He promised to find you when the time was right. All my love, Grandpa. P.S. That time you made me soup when I was sick, when you were only 7, you spent your tooth fairy money on the ingredients. That's when I knew you were special. That's when I started saving everything for you. Asterisk, I was sobbing now. Ugly crying in this pristine office. Jordan rubbed my back while Mr. Harrison quietly pushed a box of tissues across the desk. There's more, he said, when I composed myself. Your grandmother knew, too. She set up a separate trust that your parents don't know about. It's smaller, just $50,000, but it's been sitting in an account they can't touch. She wanted you to have options. Why didn't anyone tell me? Your grandfather made me promise to wait until you were married or turned 25. He wanted you to be old enough to handle it, to have support. He glanced at Jordan. He would have liked you, young man. He valued people who protected Emily. So, what do we do? Jordan asked. First, we file for an immediate injunction to freeze all assets. Then, we file criminal charges for fraud, theft, and breach of fiduciary duty. Your parents will be served papers within 48 hours. What about the house? Legally, it's yours. We can file for immediate eviction. Eviction? My parents would be evicted from the house they'd lived in for 30 years. The house where I'd grown up. But it wasn't their house. It was mine. Grandpa had made sure of it. I need to think about that part, I said. Mr. Harrison nodded. There's no rush on the eviction. But Emily, you need to understand. They've been renovating that house with your money. The new kitchen, the pool they put in last year, the finished basement where Rachel lives, rent-free. All of it was paid for with funds that belong to you. The pool. They'd put in a pool. When I'd asked if I could have my wedding reception there, Mom had said the backyard was too much of a mess for guests. I opened another letter from the box. Asterisk, Emily, your wedding day is coming. I know it is, even if I won't see it. You'll be beautiful. You'll be loved. You'll be everything they said you couldn't be. Don't invite them if they don't deserve it. Family isn't blood. Family is choice. Choose people who choose you. Grandpa. How had he known? How had he seen so clearly what I'd refused to see? There's something else, Mr. Harrison said. Your father sent me an email this morning. He showed me his phone. The email was long, rambling, full of accusations and threats, but one line stood out. Emily is being vindictive because we missed her wedding. This is all revenge, revenge. I laughed bitterly. They stole my inheritance to go on a cruise instead of my wedding. And I'm being vindictive. He also claims you're mentally unstable. That you've always been jealous of Rachel. That this is all a misunderstanding. Of course he does. Jordan's phone buzzed. He showed me the screen. A Facebook post from Rachel. My sister is trying to destroy our family over money. She got married and now she thinks she's too good for us. Some people show their true colors when they get a man. Sad, the comments were brutal. Half supporting her. Half calling her out for missing my wedding. Someone had screenshot my original post and put it side by side with the cruise photos. The timestamps were damning. Let them talk, Mr. Harrison advised. Everything they say can be used in court. They're admitting to being on that cruise during your wedding. They're admitting to knowing about the money. They're hanging themselves. We signed papers for the next 2 hours. Injunctions, freezing orders, formal complaints. With each signature, I felt something shift. Not lighter, exactly. But cleaner, like cutting away dead tissue so the healthy parts could heal. As we were leaving, Mr. Harrison handed me one more envelope. Your grandfather left specific instructions for this to be given to you after your wedding. I opened it in the car. Emily, by now you know the truth. You know what they took from you. But here's what they could never take: your kindness, your strength, your ability to love despite being unloved. I'm leaving you more than money. I'm leaving you freedom. Freedom to never again beg for scraps of affection. Freedom to build your own family. Freedom to be exactly who you are. Your parents will say terrible things about you. Let them. Your truth is stronger than their lies. Be happy, my dear one. Be so happy it burns them. All my love, Grandpa. P.S. That husband of yours. I know you found a good one. Tell him thank you for me. For seeing your worth when your family couldn't. For standing by you. For helping you become who you were always meant to be. The papers were served on a Wednesday. I knew because Mom called Jordan's mother 47 times in 3 hours, begging her to make me see reason. Patricia, wise woman that she is, told Mom that I was being perfectly reasonable and hung up. By Thursday, the entire town knew, not because I said anything, but because Dad went to their church prayer group and asked everyone to pray for their troubled daughter who'd chosen money over family. Someone recorded it. Someone else posted it. Within hours, #chose money over family was trending locally, but not the way Dad intended. People started sharing their own stories, the time my parents had borrowed money from the church fund and never paid it back. The fundraiser they'd organized for Rachel's emergency surgery that turned out to be a nose job. The lies, the manipulation, the pattern of taking advantage of everyone's good nature. But the real turning point came from an unexpected source, Rachel's ex-boyfriend, Marcus. He posted a video that went genuinely viral. I dated Rachel for 3 years, he said, looking directly at the camera. I watched how that family treated Emily. They made her cook Thanksgiving dinner and then told her she couldn't eat with them because the table was full. They took her car without asking and returned it empty. They cashed her birthday checks from relatives and told her the relatives forgot. I watched them destroy that girl's self-worth for sport, and now they're crying because she's fighting back. Good for her. The video had 3 million views in 2 days. My phone became unusable. Interview requests from podcasters. Messages from distant relatives I'd never met. Friend requests from strangers who'd been through similar situations. I turned it all off. Let Jordan handle what needed handling. But I did read one message from my cousin Mia, Rachel's favorite cousin, the one who'd been flower girl at the wedding I wasn't invited to attend. Aunt Emily, I saw everything. The way they laugh about you when you're not there. The way they use your recipes and claim they made them. The way they spent your college fund on Rachel's pageant stuff. I'm 17 now and I see it all. When I turn 18, I'm done with them, too. You're brave. You're my hero. Friday morning, we met with Megan at the courthouse. The injunction had been approved. All accounts were frozen. The properties were under legal review. My parents had 72 hours to provide a full accounting of every penny they'd spent. They've hired a lawyer, Megan told us. Harold Whitman. Jordan snorted. The guy who lost the Patterson case. The one who got disbarred for 5 years and just got his license back. That's the one. Apparently, he's the only one who would take the case. That should have been my first clue that things were about to get uglier. Saturday afternoon, while Jordan and I were at the grocery store, my phone exploded with notifications. Rachel had done a TikTok live, crying prettily into the camera, claiming I'd been abusive to her throughout our childhood. She said I'd locked her in closets, stolen her things, threatened her. It was all lies, but she was a good actress. She'd learned from Mom how to play the victim. But she made one crucial mistake. She said, Emily was always jealous that Grandpa loved me more. That's why she's doing this. Within an hour, someone had posted Grandpa's will. The actual document, which was public record. It mentioned Rachel exactly once, leaving her his old golf clubs. Everything else, every single thing, was left to me. The comments turned savage. Girl, he left you golf clubs. Grandpa said, here's some sticks, bye. Imagine lying about a dead man's love for clout. Rachel deleted the video, but the internet is forever. Sunday was quiet. Too quiet. I should have known they were planning something. Monday morning, I woke up to find our apartment building surrounded by news vans. Someone, definitely Mom, had called every media outlet claiming I was holding my elderly parents hostage through legal manipulation, that I was a gold digger who'd married Jordan for money and was now coming after my own family. But they'd miscalculated. The reporters had done their homework. Emily, one called out. Is it true your parents spent your inheritance on a cruise during your wedding? Can you comment on the fraud charges? How does it feel to have your story inspire others to stand up against financial abuse? Jordan and I pushed through them without commenting, but I heard one reporter doing a stand-up. The woman being painted as a villain by her family appears to be the victim of systematic financial and emotional abuse spanning years. That afternoon, Mr. Harrison called. Your parents' lawyer has reached out. They want to settle. Of course they do. They're offering to return the house in exchange for dropping all charges. Just the house. What about the hundreds of thousands they stole? They claim that money was family money, used for family expenses. My money used for their expenses. Exactly. I told them no. But Emily, you should know they're getting desperate. Desperate people do desperate things. He was right. That night, we were at Jordan's parents' house for dinner when my phone rang. A no-number local area code. Hello, Emily. This is Officer Davidson with the police department. We've just arrested your father. My blood went cold. For the fraud? No, ma'am. He was attempting to break into your apartment. Your neighbor called it in. We rushed home to find 2 police cars outside. Dad was in the back of one. Mom screaming at the officers from the sidewalk. Rachel was filming everything, of course. The officers showed us the doorbell camera footage from our neighbor. Dad, clearly drunk, trying to pick our lock with a credit card like some kind of amateur burglar. When that didn't work, he'd started kicking the door, screaming about taking back his property. "Do you want to press charges?" Officer Davidson asked. I looked at Dad through the police car window. He wasn't looking at me. He was texting on his phone, probably trying to spin this, too. "Yes," I said. "I do." Mom rushed at me then, and for a second I thought she might hit me. Jordan stuck between us. "How could you?" she shrieked. "Your own father. We raised you." "No," I said, finding my voice. "You raised Rachel. You tolerated me, and you stole from me. Every chance you got. We gave you life. And then you spent 26 years trying to make me wish you hadn't. That shut her up. Maybe it was too harsh. Maybe it was exactly harsh enough." As the police cars pulled away, Rachel approached. "You've ruined everything," she said. "I'm supposed to get married next year. How am I supposed to have a wedding now, with your own money? I hate you." "I know," I said sadly. "You always have. The difference is now I don't care." The criminal trial was set for 3 months out, but the civil case moved faster. Within 6 weeks, the judge had ruled in my favor on all counts. The house was mine. The remaining money was mine. The rental properties were mine. Dad's breaking and entering charge added weight to everything. He'd violated the restraining order I'd filed, been caught on camera trying to break into my home, and had sent me 43 threatening texts from the back of the police car. His lawyer dropped him the next day. Mom tried one last manipulation. She called Jordan's mother crying, saying she had cancer and needed her family around her. Patricia, wise woman that she is, said, "That's terrible, Helen. Which oncologist are you seeing? I'll send flowers to your next appointment." Mom hung up and never called again. The house felt strange when I finally walked through it. They'd left in a hurry, forced out by the sheriff, taking only what they could prove was theirs, which wasn't much as it turned out. Even the furniture had been bought with my money. I found my childhood room exactly as I'd left it when I moved out at 18. Not preserved out of love, but forgotten, like I'd been. Rachel's room, meanwhile, had been renovated 3 times. In the basement, I found boxes of my things I thought had been lost, report cards, art projects, the diary I'd kept in middle school. But also, strangely, photos of me that had been cut out of family pictures. Dozens of them, like they'd been systematically erasing me from the family history. "Creepy," Jordan said, looking at a Christmas photo where I'd been carefully scissored out, leaving a hole between Rachel and Dad. "No," I said, understanding finally hitting me. "It's sad. They had to work so hard to hate me. It took actual effort. We decided to sell the house. I couldn't live there. Couldn't raise children in rooms where I'd been made to feel worthless. But first, I had one last thing to do. I invited everyone. Not my parents or Rachel. They were legally barred from the property. But everyone else. Every aunt, uncle, cousin, family friend who'd chosen that cruise over my wedding. I told them I had an announcement about the house. They came, of course, hoping I'd forgive them, or give them something, or just curious about the drama. The backyard was full. The same backyard where Mom said I couldn't have my reception. I stood on the deck, looking at all these faces that had smiled at me while enabling my abuse. And I felt nothing. They weren't my family. They'd proven that. "I asked you all here," I began, "to tell you the truth. Grandpa left me everything because he saw what you all saw and ignored. He saw how I was treated. He saw the favoritism, the emotional abuse, the neglect. And he tried to fix it the only way he could, by making sure I'd have resources to escape. My Aunt Janet tried to interrupt. Emily, we didn't know. You were on the cruise, I said flatly. You posted pictures during my wedding ceremony. You knew. Silence. I'm selling this house. The money will go into a trust for my future children. They'll never know any of you. They'll never feel less than because of you. They'll never wonder why Grandma loves their cousin more. They'll never be told they're too sensitive when they point out unfairness. You can't cut us all off. Uncle Pete said. We're family. No, I said. You're relatives. Family shows up. Family doesn't steal. Family doesn't lie. Family doesn't choose a cruise over a wedding. I pulled out a stack of papers. These are cease and desist orders. If any of you contact me, Jordan, or our future children, we will pursue harassment charges. This is goodbye. Some cried. Some yelled. Some just left. But Mia, my 17-year-old cousin, stayed behind. Can I call you? She asked. I hugged her. Always. The house sold in 2 weeks. Cash offer, above asking. The new family had 3 kids and a dog. They were loud and happy and exactly what that house needed. The trial came and went. Dad got 18 months probation and had to pay restitution. Mom got community service. Rachel wasn't charged, but she'd become infamous online. The video of her claiming Grandpa loved her more had been memed to death. She'd had to delete all her social media, and last I heard was working at a call center 2 towns over. On our first anniversary, Jordan surprised me with a trip to the courthouse. Not for anything legal, but to renew our vows. Just us, the judge, and his secretary as witnesses. I wanted to marry you again, he said. Now that you know who you really are. Now that you're free. I cried through the whole 5-minute ceremony. That night, we had dinner with his family. My real family now. Patricia had made a cake. Jordan's sisters had decorated the restaurant's private room. His father made a toast that ended with, "To Emily, who showed us all what strength looks like." Later, as we sat on our apartment balcony, I pulled out one last letter from Grandpa's box. I'd been saving it. The one marked, "Open when you're happy." Asterisk Emily, if you're reading this, you've made it. You've broken free. You've chosen yourself. I know it hurt. I know they made you feel like the villain. I know you probably still have days where you wonder if you were wrong. You weren't. Choosing yourself isn't selfish when you've spent your whole life being sacrificed for others. Taking what's yours isn't theft when it was stolen first. Be happy, my dear one. Be so magnificently happy that it makes everyone who hurt you realize what they lost. But more importantly, be happy because you deserve it. You always have. All my love, Grandpa. P.S. That husband of yours. I know you found a good one. Tell him thank you for me. For seeing your worth when your family couldn't. For standing by you. For helping you become who you were always meant to be. Asterisk I folded the letter carefully, looked at Jordan. He knew about you. He knew you'd find someone who loved you right. I miss him. He's here, Jordan said, gesturing at our life, our home, our freedom. In every choice you make to value yourself. In every boundary you set. In every moment you choose joy over guilt. 2 years later, when our daughter was born, we named her Grace, after Grandpa's mother, whose picture I'd found in his papers. A woman who'd also been the black sheep, who'd also chosen herself, who'd also lived magnificently despite her family's disapproval. Mom sent a card when the birth announcement made the local paper. Just signed, Grandma. I returned it unopened. Rachel reached out once through a lawyer, asking if I'd help with her wedding costs since family helps family. I sent back a check for $50. In the memo line, I wrote, the exact amount you gave for my wedding gift. Family helps family equally. The check was never cashed. Last week, I drove past the old house. The new family had painted it yellow, added a swing set, planted a garden. Kids' bikes were scattered on the lawn I'd once mowed while Rachel sunbathed. It looked like a home now. Not a house where someone was tolerated, but a home where everyone was loved. That's what Grandpa gave me in the end. Not just money or property, but the chance to build a home like that. A family like that. A life where showing up isn't exceptional. It's expected. My phone buzzed. Jordan texting from work. Asterisk dinner at mom's tonight. She made that soup you love, asterisk I smiled, texting back. Asterisk wouldn't miss it. Because that's what family does, asterisk they show up. And now, finally, so do I. If your family had to choose between a vacation and your wedding, would you want to know the truth about their choice? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories about the families we're born into versus the ones we choose to build.